Part two, sorry, I had an alarm. So, that's when I had the flood in the backyard. And then after the flood of like paying 30,000 towards that. But before I paid for the flood, I put like 30,000 towards my student loan. And then the flood came and I put another 30, into having to rebuild a fence, a privacy fence with metal studs, and I put down turf so that, because at that point with the flood in the backyard, it was just all mud. So having puppies and having mud is just not a good situation when you have to train the puppies to go out to go poo and pee. You don't want them to be in a situation where they're in touch with the grass and the bugs and mud. So I put turf down and did all the things so that my dog breeding business would be lucrative, as well as continue to work full time. And then when I had a litter, I would slow down my work and take care of the puppies, sell the puppies, and then I would increase my work again. So, it was working very well, but then my back started hurting. And then my fibroids started hemorrhaging. And then I got COVID. Then I got COVID again. Then I got anemia. Then it just went out of control. Everything went out of my hands, and I said, you know what? I surrender. I cannot strive and try to keep everything together. I'm listening to what God's telling me to do, and not try to do things in my own will and my own strength. So, fast forward, I felt what it was felt like to live in a shelter. It was deep. It was dark. It was gloomy. It was uncertain. And I still found peace in it, because I would go to work and then I would come. I would go to work, be away for 12 hours, and I would be in my bed for 12 hours and not really focusing on anything that I did not want permanently in my physical existence. My goal is to be around people that are positive, driven, and trying to make a way for themselves. Those people don't have that mindset necessarily. None of the ones that I was around. It's always chaos, confusion, that type of thing. Then there's the rules. You have to be in at 9 o'clock. You're getting drug tested. They're going through your things to find out if you're bringing knives, guns, anything that shouldn't be in your possession. They check your bag when you come in, and they check your bag when you come in. Each time, the cafeteria, there's no food in your room, so keep down the bugs. In the cafeteria, the food was all processed. Sometimes Hutchins Barbecue, they would donate plenty of barbecue and things like that. But barbecue is nitrates. It's cooked over. I don't know how Hutchins cook their barbecue, but if they cook it over charcoal or whatever, it's a nitrate, and nitrates are cancerous. Because I'm so in tune with my health, I chose to cook in the car. So now that I'm in the hotel, in the car I had my little stove that I had a flame. Now I'm in the hotel. I don't have the flame necessarily. I have my electric cookware, which works fine. Usually on Sundays, I food prep for 5 days, and I prepare all my meals. Usually it's like I would do cabbage, onions, garlic, and then some meat, which is chicken or beef or turkey, for a week. And then I will alternate between broccoli. So broccoli, this week I had turmeric chicken and rice. Oh my goodness, I don't even know why. I just said, okay, I want to, if it says in the Bible that herbs heal the nation, I want to put more herbs in my diet. So I put cumin on the chicken, the no antibiotics, and good chicken, good quality chicken, cumin and turmeric there. I bought some organic turmeric rice from Costco, and it's that you just kind of microwave or whatever. And I microwaved it for a little bit, and then I put it in my big pan. And first I fried my chicken. I fried my chicken and fried it most of the way, and then I put all my rice in the pot and put two. No, actually I put 4 cubes of chicken bouillon. Put that chicken in there. Put some turmeric. Put some cumin in there. So my rice was bright yellow. And I took some broccoli and cut it up. So you can't even tell it was broccoli. I cut it so fine. And I put it all in there. Oh my gosh, you talking about good. Man, I'll be eating. So every other week I'll do a cabbage recipe. And then I'll alternate with a broccoli recipe. Because broccoli and cabbage are carnivorous vegetables, and it pulls and detoxes your body. And so does the onions, so does the broccoli, all of it. It all work together, and the herbs. And I'm telling you, my body has never been so content. My digestion is content. With my beans, I sprinkle a little bit of soda, baking soda powder, the kind that you bake with. Put that in there to cut the gas in the beans, because I don't believe in having gas too much from food, because it's just not healthy, in my opinion, to be feeling bloated and uncomfortable from a meal. So I put a pinch or two of the soda in my beans, and I'm cooking them on low. What else? I have a broom and a dustpan, and also anytime I want them to come clean my room, they will come in and mop the floor, wipe. I keep it pretty clean myself, though. I have my table and my cloth and my little dish basket in the bathroom where I wash my dishes, and I put a clean towel on the bed, and I dry my dishes on the bed pretty much, because I don't use the whole bed. I usually just stay to one half of the bed. It's a queen bed. And just pretty good. More than enough for me. More than enough for me to dry my dishes as I go through the week, eating the food that I prepared for myself through the week. What else do I do? So today, I just stayed pretty much still, rested, did my beads, and I'm just sitting here chilling. I can't take the flu test for 48 hours. So tomorrow about this time, I'll take the flu COVID test. But I did wake up when I woke up and I turned my body. Oh my gosh, the aches and pains. I said, okay, this is the flu. And then I took me some ibuprofen and all my vitamins. My EPA, my vitamin D, my DHA, my DHEA, all the things. So I'm excited going into this new year. I found a clinic right next door to me, literally. It's the Motel 6, and then it's a place called BBC, and it's like brain, what's it called? A body? I forget what it's called, but the initials is BBC. And basically what this clinic does is, the C is for chiropractic, body, is body and chiropractic. So I had an appointment yesterday to see the chiropractor, and I went there. I called them to cancel because I didn't even have a voice at all. And they was like, well, if you don't come, you still gonna pay $60. So I said, well, I'm coming. Just give me a mask, and I put the mask on. So I went, and I did the intake process, and they was like, okay, well, we see that your insurance hasn't started. It won't start until next week, so you can go ahead and we'll see you next week. So I was like, okay. Now I'm cold, so I gotta turn the fan off. Just like that, go from hot to go. So I didn't get any adjustments or anything, but I got the paperwork. I filled out all the paperwork. So next week when I go, I have 2 appointments actually there, because I was going to do the chiropractor first, and then on the second I was going to do my blood draws, which is my annual blood draws I do in January. I do hemoglobin A1C. I do a complete blood count to check. I'll check my iron, because I've been taking iron pills from the previous anemic episode that I had in July, to see if my blood is back up to par, my hemoglobin. And then I feel it is. My skin is nice and brown. It's not yellow or anything like that. So, and I feel my energy is okay. I'm able to do most things. My energy is all right. But with the bouts of anemia, you have a hard time breathing, because you don't have hemoglobin in the blood to deliver the oxygen to your lungs. So just imagine trying to go to the gym and work out when you can't breathe. So, I stopped going to the gym so I can combat this anemia and not cause my body more stress. So, what else I'm checking for in my blood? My blood sugar, which is the hemoglobin A1C. I don't do a lot of sugars, and the sugar that I do is low index sugar. And I also have like maple syrup that I'll do sometimes in certain teas, and certain teas that I drink. Like I do a ginger turmeric tea. I do a peppermint tea. Yeah, those are the 2 I like the most for right now. Oh, I did a peppermint a herbal tea, because I started to do last week. I started a parasitic cleanse, because it just never really dawned on me how many parasites we could have in the body. And that was something that just like an inspired thing to do. Like, I never thought of it, never thought of doing it. And what came to me is that my dog, when I take my dog every 6 weeks, every 6 months to be checked at her vet, they give me pills to do like a deworming process. And I'm like, well, if they deworm my dog, how many ways and things am I getting worms and parasites in my body? So, of course, I did a deep dive and looked up what things could be causing, hormonal imbalance, or what havoc parasites could wreak on the body. And one of them came up as hormonal imbalance. Well, because I'm having so many hot flashes, I thought, okay, well, let's do a parasitic cleanse, because the naturopath doctors I spoke to, they want $8,000. They want to do $1,500 in tests for my gut, for my gut microbiome. What else she wanted to do? My mitochondria testing, which is on the cellular level, and sensitivity testing. By the time she finished with talking about all the tests she wanted to do, it was like $1,500, and I'm like, let me rethink this. I'm not about to pay some. And then she said, once we get all the tests back, the treatment is going to be from $3,000 to $8,000. It's going to take from 4 months to 6 months to treat you. And I'm like, okay, that's $10,000. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. So I thought about what she said, and I said, you know what? I'm going to look into a parasitic cleanse and do the parasitic cleanse myself. So last week I bought several things that helps with parasitic cleanse, and I also went to my storage unit when I got my shoes and got some milk thistle, which I've already had, and some enzyme, a digestive enzyme I had in the storage too. So I've been taking the digestive enzyme, the milk thistle to give my liver some support while I'm detoxing any kinds of parasites. And then I'm doing my parasitic cleanse, Paragard, pills I did for 1 week, twice a day. And then I'm doing some wormwood capsules that includes pumpkin seed oil and all the things. I'm doing those, and I'm like down to my last 5 days, 4 days of the parasitic cleanse. So by the end of this week, I'll be done with the parasitic cleanse. And this is not unusual for me. In December, I'm usually doing some type of cleanse to go into the new year. Or sometimes, usually December, I don't like to do it in January. January, I start my a different facial routine, which is I use hydroquinone to lighten the dark spots, if there's any dark spots on my face and neck. And I do that in the cold months, so I don't have to go in the sun and burn, it'll burn if I do it in the heat. So I do a different routine for 3 months for my face in January. So I don't want to focus on the cleanse of any kind in January through April. So I get it done in December. So after this cleanse, which is the next few days, I'll go in and I'll get my labs drawn. And they have a lab there that's considered a total nutrition lab. And also I want to do the Dutch test because I've been taking all the adaptogens, which is herbs and things that help my hormones. And I've been taking the EPA and the DHA and the DHEA and the vitamin D3 and the calcium. I want to make sure all the supplements that I've been taking the last 3 months have been optimal, especially my D3. I'm looking to see if my D3 is more than 150 because I am black, and because of my melanin. It takes way more sun to get through my melanin for my body to actually get the benefit of the sun. So I have taken the supplement of the D3 because, one, when I leave here and I go to work, I'm probably in the sun from the car maybe less than 10 minutes. Then I'm at work all day, so I miss the sun. So a lot of times I miss the sun, except on the weekends if I get out and about, which I don't. I usually just kind of rest and be still and wait for God's guidance. Rest as much as I can so I can hear clearly what He's telling me to do. So I'm jumping around on this video. Anyway, I'll be getting my labs in a few days on the 2nd. I'm excited about that. And then on the 5th, I'll go back to the chiropractic component and get any adjustments to kind of help me. So I'll be getting an overall view of the things that I want to be better in the new year, which is my back health and my labs, so that I can probably start going back to the gym and make sure I check my cortisol levels to make sure I don't have a lot of external stress and internal stress causing my cortisol to be elevated, which will decrease my ability to lose weight if I go to the gym. Because if I have cortisol, that means I'm already stressed out enough. So to have cortisol high and then trying to jump into a gym routine, you're only going to gain weight. So that's something I don't want to do. So my weight has been pretty consistent, very much consistent, the last 3-4 months. So I'm happy with that until I can get more labs and things like that to see what my next step is. What else I was about to say? I forgot. It was something about, okay. To finish the subject of, was I going to get an apartment? So they said I would need to show history that I was able to pay my mortgage over a period of time. So I got those records from the Bank of America on my activity on my bank account. Then I emailed a counselor that I went to during COVID, and I got they said I needed a paperwork to show that my dog is an emotional support animal, an E, PA, emotional support, a ESA form for Ginger. I mean, not Ginger, that's her mother name. I'm tired. Cinnabon. I got an ESA letter for Cinnabon, and I put that on my drive so I can print out at any time I'm feeling better. So I have that. I have my bank records, the ESA for the dog, so I don't have to pay rent or deposit for Peep Toe. Well, Peep Toe is her nickname, Peep or Cinnabon. I don't have to do that. I have Cinnabon's vaccination records. Those two components they asked for, those go together. So what else they asked for? Oh, and pay stubs. Just show that I've been employed, gainfully employed 6 months or whatever. And then I can have an apartment. So I have everything. My credit may not look all that great right now, but I have, oh my goodness, I have a secure credit card that I applied for and I got, which I'm excited about, but I'm feeling some resistance in using it. Even though I will pay it off in 3 weeks, it's like, I feel like I'm being made to make a choice. Either you're going to go on cash only, or you're going to play the game with the target that's going to keep moving. You're going to go out, you're going to have to shop, buy something for $20 on that credit card, and then remember in 3 weeks, go back, send the payment to the credit card to build my credit up. I don't feel like I want to do that right now, so I'm going to wait. At least I did what I thought I was inspired to do, and that was to get the card, and I'll determine the rest. Everything else is later to be determined. So as far as the apartment, the thought when I went there, they told me I'm going to have to pick my utility company. For my utilities, I'm going to have to pick, cable. I'm going to have to pick. All I can see is dollar signs going out. Here I am at the Motel 6. I'm paying a flat fee for electricity, AC, cable, basic cable. I have my room and board and everything I need here. And it's one price. It's one price. But if I go into an apartment living, I'm going to have the up and down of the trash. I'm going to have the up and down of the sewer. I'm going to have the up and down of the cable. I'm going to have the up and down of the rent itself. It's going to go up, increase. I'm going to have the up and down of the utilities every month. So you got to pay water, sewer, trash, utilities, cable. That's 5 things that the arrow and rent. That's 6 things that the envelope could keep moving, or the target can keep moving around. And I'm really not feeling that. I'm really not feeling that. Just not feeling that. And then the people I share wall with may not be quiet. It still may have roaches. It still may have disturbances. People knocking on the door. The maintenance knocking on the door to update because the city said, oh, the code, you have to change this faucet. You have to change this and that. Up to code. I'm just like, and then they always hanging stuff on your door. Flyers for pizza, flyers for this, and flyers for that. It's just, I don't want to be bothered with none of that right now. I have the peace that surpasses understanding. I don't have a target that's moving around constantly. I just pay every 2 weeks for 2 weeks at a time, and that's it. It's just that simple. I'm not bothered. It's quiet. Why would I want to change this? I can't seem to bring myself to reason why would I want to change this. So I had a situation where my license were affected. That was a part of the thing that slowed me down as well. So my license got stipulations on it for a year. On the 26th, that year was up. And the stipulations was that I had to work at work at a specific place for 1 year. Well, that 1 year is up. So that means that everything that I was not able to do for a year, I am now able to do it. If I want to travel, if I want to go in any area that my license cover, I could go there. I could just do so much more right now than I could do since 2022. What, 22, 23, 24, 25. So in 3 years, it's been 3 years, even though my license was only held up for 1 year. The target kept moving. I worked at jobs that they were beating up the clients. I worked at jobs where they were, which is physical abuse. I had to report that and leave that job. And then I had to work at another job where they wouldn't give me a computer that I needed to work on. So it was 3 people working in 3 areas, which was me and 2 other people. Well, the other 2 other people didn't want to share their computer, and the employer would tell them to share their computer, and they wouldn't share with me. So they would keep it hog it up, so it would take me all night to get my work done. So I told them I had to leave. I had to put my 2 weeks notice in, because if I don't have the supplies to do what I'm supposed to do while I'm here, what am I actually doing? I was not about to not forget to do something because I didn't have a computer to put what I needed to do in it. So I was just like, no. So between those jobs, it took me a while to find the one that I'm at right now. And even the one that I am at, it came with multiple hurdles that I had to jump. And then all of a sudden it just kind of flattened out. And I was able to do it peacefully and let them know, hey, if it's not this way, I'm not doing it. If it's not that way, I'm not doing it. If it's not right, and if people are not being cared for, taken care of, and they're your first priority, if people rights and treatment is not coming first, I don't want to be a part of it. So I'm really happy where I'm at, because all the people are being well cared for, and I haven't had to report anything. I have the tools I need. I have the computer I need. I have all the supplies I need to do the best job I can. I work with some really great people, and we all get along. We all help each other. It's just the best work situation that I've ever had throughout the history of me working, really. It's just been so great, so peaceful, so wonderful. And, even still, I'm still working on myself in a way that when I didn't feel good, I felt like, okay, I still have to go to work. And then I was like, no, you don't. It's time for you to sit still and know that you are the priority. You are the priority. Your health is important. And you're not feeling well, then you can't go. So I politely called in and I said I can't go. And I didn't feel any way about it. In fact, I felt a sense of comfort and being cared for and love to my own self, to support my own self during this sickness that I'm having right now. Oh my gosh, my nose is just horrible. I'm about to end this video in a minute. So everything's working the way it should. I feel like I'm in flow. Meaning anything that I need will come to me. Anything I need to do will come to me. Like before, I was putting money into my 401, my Roth IRA consistently. A lot of money. Just putting money in my Roth IRA. And then it came to me, no, the money that you put in your Roth IRA is fine, and you've developed a wonderful habit and consistency in putting that money in there, but you need to reroute that money to a better emergency fund. So last week, I was definitely inspired to do that, and I'm watching my Betterment account, my high yield savings account, consistently go up, 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 consistently, and it feels great. It feels wonderful. And then what inspired me next was, wait, before you do anything, before January rolls in, make sure you have a certain amount in that savings account before you do anything else, which I don't know what that anything else is, but I believe God has a plan that I may be traveling around the country. I may be traveling outside the country, which is something I always looked forward to doing. I'm just not sure how it'll come about or exactly how it's going to work out. Um, since 2011, I've had licenses in other states, but during COVID, I let license expire because I hadn't been there, and I had used them. I'm renewing licenses that I have not even used. So I'm inspired. I was inspired to look at different jobs that I could do, and I documented 3 companies that, well, like 4 companies I could work for. One I had to cross off the list because they don't have a 401k and they don't offer benefits. So I wanted to be able to work for a company that had a good 401k, so I could, instead of me putting money into my Roth IRA, I could max out into a 401k under my new employer, because I really don't believe I'll be at this employer much longer. I believe my stay is complete. I believe I've done everything that I could do. Even though I'm very content in that role, I don't believe that's where God wants me to stay. So I've called the 2 companies and got information that I needed, and I looked into the third, well, the 4th one, and I crossed it off. There's one more other company that I need to look into and see what's what. But my first line of business is to make sure that everything online with my license show the way it should, way it's supposed to. Clear, that I can move on. And God will show that it's clear, and I can move forward in whatever direction He plans for me to move. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited and I'm expectant. Just like a child with wonder. I don't know what the next moment will bring. And then it dawned on me, why would I want an apartment if God planned on moving me around? Out the country, throughout the country. It's definitely coming to me that it's time for me to move around, for sure. So why would I pay rent and get into a contract with the building for a year to pay $1,600, $1,300, $1,000 a month to some place that I'm not going to even be? That's one of the reasons why I said, I noticed when I woke up, it's like, hello, you're away from the house 12 hours, and you can barely get to the house just to sleep 8 hours. Why do you have a whole house when you're only there to sleep? Why do you have a whole house when you're only there to bathe, sleep, cook? Most of my time is at work. Most of my time is outside the house. So why would you be paying $3,000, $4,000 a month of the maintenance, of the insurance, of the utilities, of this, of that, when you're not even there? You keep it on heat and AC so you can have 8 hours of enjoyment or less. Didn't make sense to me. So I asked God to help me understand where He want me to be and what He want me to do. Excuse me. So here I am. Here's my update. I'm going into 2026 very much on target, very much in flow. Get my lab work, get my chiropractor set up, get my nutrition panel, make sure all the vitamins and stuff I'm taking is fine, that I'm doing good with it. Because my next thing to do is taper off these vitamins and supplements that I'm taking and make sure that my hormones are in balance. And hopefully at that point I can start to lose weight. Right now my weight is higher than It usually is, but it's not a focus. When it's time to lose weight, I'll lose weight. I never had an issue with losing weight until I started focusing on losing weight. And this part of my process is that I'm not focusing on anything that I don't want. So losing weight is not focusing on anything that I don't want to grow into a situation or an entity or a problem. So I don't want weight loss to grow into a problem, so I don't focus on it. I just live in the moment and do what I need to do in each moment. That's all I can do right now, and I'm happy to do it. I'm so content. It is 12:34 here at the D, Dallas, and I'm about to be quiet again and check on my beans and wait for my doggy to tell me she wants to go outside. I hope you are all set up and prepared and do all the things that you would like to do and the things that you'd like to focus on in the new year. Whatever systems you have in place, my system is detoxing and doing my annual labs and physical and things of that sort in January. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to the upgrades and my licenses and working with companies that pay for me to get licenses in the states that I had already had and more. I'm excited. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. I'm excited. It took for me to get sick to do a little bit of an update. But here's the update. God bless you all. I hope that you all find yourselves healthy and immovable in finding, in your awakening and in your journey, and identifying your personhood, jumping in and striving and trying to make things move that God intend to move, or trying to push and strive and make goals and plans that God intends for you to have. He intends for you to have more than you can imagine, more than you could ever plan for. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to plan. You can have inspired thoughts and say, oh, what if this? No, what if that? So I have all the things that I need. If God says, get an apartment, okay, I have this paperwork set aside for any apartment. If he says, oh, your license is fine, go here, go there, then I'm ready. I'm not tethered to any person or anything to say I can't go anywhere in the world, in the country that I want to go right now. And I won't be wasting my resources. In this season of my life, I am proving that I can be a good steward of small things. When I was in the shelter, I was saving my money. I was paying off the debt. God says, be a lender to nations. He said, don't be a slave to the lender. Be a lender to nations. Be a lender to nations. And he also said to be generous. So when you're generous to others, you're making God your slave, pretty much, in so many words. So if you're giving to other people and your heart tells you to give and do things for others, and you do them, you don't know if you're doing things for angels. You don't know what the test is. You just give. You just, be really nice and tip people. And along the way, you give, and they ask you something for advice or anything, you give them what God tells you to give them. You be a vessel, and all that stuff, it works in your favor. Being still and knowing that He is God, and when something comes your way, don't fail your test. Don't try to move along and do the things you want to do from your personhood. Ask the Spirit in you, what are we doing? What am I doing? Where am I going? What should I do? What should I say? Where should I go? And eventually He will answer. That's what it's like to live in an awakeful state. That's what it's like to live on target versus the targets all around you moving like spotlights. in circles around you. Do this, do that, do this, do that. No, be still and be quiet and know that all that doing, even now, I got all those vitamins and went get this vitamin, that vitamin, this, do that. Even inside of me saying, okay, enough of that. Enough. You have enough vitamins. You have enough supplements. You have enough adaptogens. You're trying to balance your hormones on your own when this body does not belong to you. It belongs to the one that created it. So go get your lab work done so you can see where you're at before you buy any more supplements, because I still need to be a good steward of all the monies that God gives me. Every penny has to have a place to go, even if it's giving, even if it's to my emergency fund. Right now it's just the emergency fund and daily necessities and things like the practical things. But, until then, I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. I will, if you believe in having those pagan holidays, the season I celebrate is that Jesus came. Jesus wept. Jesus hung himself on the cross for me to have this awakening. He gave it all so I could be awake, walk in this experience, look upon this journey like a child with wonder, knowing that like the birds and like the lilies in the field, I will be clothed, I will be housed, and I will be cared for, and I'll be taken care of. I don't have any worries in the world, never. He said, don't worry, and that's a command. He said that, pay attention, and that's a command. And that's all I could do. Nobody else will understand this, and that's fine. The ones that are awake and on this journey, they will understand this, and they will be trying to find that target so they can stand on it and flow with it versus trying to outdo themselves, use all their life energy to try to fix things that they have no control of, try to make a life that they have no control of, try to make things happen that's not meant to happen. And, they have all these different things. You can listen to man, and man will say, go get a business. Go get a business. And people have to fail in that business over and over and over again before it's successful or lucrative, because they're moving outside of the target. If you just wait and it drops into your mind like Bill Gates or any of the other great people that, Amazon, Apple, all the computer systems, these people waited for things to drop in their mind, and it was consistent, and they did the thing with it. If it don't drop in my mind, I'm not about to use resources in my life energy to fail until it works. I just don't have that energy to do that. I'm going to patiently wait, let God move me where he wants me to be. He knows the desires I have. He put those desires in my heart in the first place. He just have to put me and prepare me to put me where he wants me to be at this point. So that's where I'm waiting. I'm waiting in patience and silence and contentment and gratitude for that next step to come open for me to step into. No business, no looking for businesses, no striving to do more work, no running around doing this or that. I only do what's inspired. And even the people that I spoke to in regards to the new jobs, they were like, how soon are you ready to start this? I told them I'm not sure. It's going to be sometime in January. I don't know. And, they text me, hey, you ready? No. I said, I will be taking it at pace, and I'll check back in January. I'm not rushing into anything. I'm not desperate. I'm not afraid. I'm not worried. But I'm waiting on the Lord and his guidance. All right, I've talked my own ear off. Like I said, I wish you all well, and I hope that you keep your mind focused on God, focused on the Creator, focused on your abilities, your authority, your commandments, and following every word in the Bible, which is all commandments, and repenting for falling off course, repenting for getting ahead of yourself, repenting for opening portals that you should not or open on social media or whatever type of media you chose to look into, and it's demonic or satanic or it's going against the word of God. Repent and ask for forgiveness. Search your heart for people that you have not honestly forgiven and forgive them, and ask God to forgive you and give you more forgiveness. And ask God to give you more knowledge, ask God to give you more understanding, and ask God to give you more wisdom so that you can understand the things that He wants you to understand, and that you can see the things He wants you to see and hear. That your senses, all your senses, taste, touch, feel, sight, is attuned to what He wants it to see. Because we are sheep, we are blind, and we are sheep. We are blind, we are sheep to be slaughtered 24/7. We don't see the way we think we see, and our feelings and our emotions are all a play on the illusion of this world. Our senses are trying to get attached to the illusions and the feelings and the sensations of this world. But we have to be able to know that we have the power and authority to redirect those feelings, sensations, thoughts, and emotions to what God wants us to look into, what God wants us to see, feel, think, have emotion. There's nothing wrong with having emotion, but acknowledge what you are doing and what you are saying and the intentions behind the emotions. Like I cried for my son last week. I cried because I miss him. Not that I have control of his life or that he is my son and he belongs to me. No, he belongs to God, and God is teaching him and training him to the way He wants him to go. And He's giving him trials and tribulations for his journey so he can awaken and be fully in the Spirit himself. But that doesn't mean I don't miss him. And I pray over him and the rest of my family that I can be a sacrificial vessel for all of them for 3 to 4 generations to come. I want to sacrifice my life for all of them, to remove all the curses, generational curses and spells and hexes that's been prominent through. I remove them and rebuke them in the name of Jesus. Every night, every time I open my mouth, I pray over my family. I pray over the people at work. I pray over strangers that I see that might be, God showed me that they might be suffering and carrying on. I know that if He will me to do something about it, I will. But I definitely can pray. That's my will, to pray for them to have better days. And for whatever God is working in them, for them to understand and see how He is working and what He needs them to do in that moment, in each moment. In Jesus' name, that's all I can do. So, I'm losing my voice. Update and talk to y'all when the next thing happens. All love, all joy, all excitement, all wonder. I love you all, and I hope that you can feel it through my videos, because my videos are boring. They're not for the faint. They're not for just regular people. You have to take all the time, and you have to want to understand and hear what I'm saying and listen to my long, drawn out, dry videos. So I love you all. Peace, joy in the new year. Bye.